This takes us to a very important point here. There are two types of science. This is a breakthrough for me when I realized this, when I learned this. That there are two types of science, and we get them confused all the time, and we go back and forth between the two, and people who are telling us that evolution is true and all of that, they're going back and forth between the two all the time, and we don't recognize it. The first is called observational science. Now, what is the root word of observational? Observe. What does observe mean? It's something you can see. Observational science deals with the scientific method. Remember that? What does the scientific method start with? Somebody tell me. Observation. Observation. Hypothesis, observation, testing, experiment, conclusion, and you start all over, don't you? But it all hinges on what you can see, what you can test in real time. It deals with the present. That's observational science. But there's another type of science, and this is the one that gets us. Historical science. This is when I'm taking what I see dinosaur bones, I see the Grand Canyon, I see death and suffering, and I'm trying to create a story, a narrative, an explanation of what happened in the past to bring about all of these things I see in the present. Does that make sense? Historical, I'm looking backwards. But the thing about it is, it deals with the past, of course, and it's based on faith. Why? Because you cannot directly observe the past. You cannot observe the creation. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. Who was there? I know my kids think I was there. No, I only go back to Noah's Ark. Deals with the past. So what we have is, let me give you an example. See if you can figure this out. Which one is this? This is a statement from an actual article. It's talking about a rodent, actually. It's talking about a rat that they found, bones that they found. This is the quote. But this one's skull was huge, more than half a meter, that's about 20 inches long, suggesting an animal about 3 meters in length, weighing more than a metric ton. That's a big rat. Okay, is this historical or is this observational? It's observational, isn't it? Why? Because I have something that I measured, something that I'm looking at, and then I'm extrapolating size from that measurement. That's not really talking about history. That's just talking about what I have now. But what about this one? The article goes on. This is the same article. But when North and South America were linked about 3 million years ago, the rodents were swamped by North American animals and eventually died out. That's historical. You see, how do you know that? How do you actually know that? You're hypothesizing, you're trying to explain it, but don't tell me to stop believing in the Bible because of a story that you made up. Look at this. So we've got historical and observational. Observational is going to be built on facts that are available in the present. So we find shells in the ground, we find we look at the stars, we look out at the galaxies, that exists in the present. But both evolution and creation are historical. They're dealing with something that we cannot see. They are explanations of what happened in the past to bring about the present. Does that make sense? So in each case, you have to put your faith in one or the other. It's not a matter of that science and evolution is hard and cold fact, and Christianity and faith in the Bible is just all about faith. Not true. They are both trying to explain something that happened in the past. My beliefs decide how I explain what I see in the world.